Don't let
Hey, don't let this segment mess our marriage up. I can't really tell you what's wrong with kids, but I can tell you what the hell wrong with parents.
You guys, are you sitting down? Because what just unfolded behind closed federal courtroom doors could literally rip Hollywood to shreds. I mean, picture this. The room is dead silent. Tension so thick you could slice it with a knife. Then, boom! A secret deal, one that could completely flip the script on everything we thought we knew. Sources very close to the situation are whispering that Diddy, yes, Mr. Bad Boy for Life himself, facing 20 years behind bars for some shady and frankly disgusting allegations, made a move no one saw coming. A move that could destroy careers. Want to know what he did? He handed the FBI a name. And not just any name. Steve Harvey.
Dishonest, violent, horrible. A promiscuous swinger who lied to and cheated on multiple partners. Incredibly, that's how Sean Diddy Combs' own lawyers described the billionaire music mogul, currently facing serious sex trafficking charges in a New York court.
I know, it's almost too crazy to believe. But if it's true, this isn't just about betrayal. This is a Hollywood earthquake. We're talking about a move so ruthless, so cold-blooded, it's rattling the foundations of fame itself. Diddy's team pulled a legal Houdini, dodging those major charges, racketeering, trafficking, coercion. But even though he didn't get bail, that man has been busy behind bars. He's been wheeling and dealing, and allegedly what he gave up, oh honey, it's a list of receipts, recordings, documents, files, possibly even testimony. And it's all pointing to a man who's made millions preaching morality and wholesomeness. Steve Harvey, the beloved TV uncle, Mr. Family Feud, the relationship expert, the king of morning radio, and now allegedly the godfather of an invisible dark Hollywood syndicate. Buckle up, because word on the street is the FBI is ready to pounce. We're talking arrest level ready. The kind that could come crashing down as soon as Diddy's sentencing rolls around. Apparently Harvey isn't just a bystander. Nope. If the feds have what they claim, Steve is allegedly tangled up in years, and I mean years, of hush money, elite coercion, intimidation, and big name cover-ups. We're talking top-level stars in music, film, TV, the whole glittery machine. And Steve allegedly helping pull the strings. And here's the real kicker. Was this all just Diddy trying to save his own skin? Or is there something darker going on here? Something personal? Because the name people keep circling back to is Lori Harvey. Yes, Steve's stepdaughter. And yes, Diddy's former whatever that was.
I'm so protective of her because I know what she up against.
Remember 2019 when the internet blew up over Diddy and Lori being seen all cozy in Italy? The yacht photos, the Cabo vacations, even dining with the Harvey family? Everyone thought it was just a weird May-December romance, right? Well, what if it was never about Lori at all? Multiple sources are whispering, and I mean whispering in fear, that Diddy's so-called romance with Lori might have actually been an inside job. An infiltration. Think about it. Who else could get into Steve's carefully guarded inner circle like that? At the time, Lori was in her early 20s, rising fast. Diddy still grieving Kim Porter, spiraling emotionally. Or so we thought. But now with the files surfacing, people are connecting the dots. That relationship, it might have been a smokescreen, a front, a mission. Was Diddy using Lori to get close, to gather intel? Because let's not forget, Diddy and Steve, they weren't strangers. Their friendship goes back decades. They were industry pals, sharing power tables in Beverly Hills. And yet, since this trial started, Steve has said absolutely nothing. No support, no statements. No vague praying for you, bro, nothing. And you know that's weird for someone who called himself a mentor. That silence, deafening. Insiders say Harvey is panicking. And it's not just about being named. It's about what Diddy allegedly handed over. The logs, the locations, the people, from flight manifests to private party guest lists to staff who moved between both camps. This goes back 10 years, y'all. And it's messy. Connections to shady talent agencies, sponsor contracts with skeletons in the closet, and private events that weren't just about red carpets. People used to laugh at Diddy's so-called freak-offs. But if Harvey was involved, that's not a freak-off. That's full scammer orchestration.
Well, the things that I experienced with him were monster-like. that stuff almost destroyed my life.
And here's where things get downright chilling. Word is, some of Diddy's old security guards, they went to work on Harvey shows. One former bodyguard has reportedly flipped. And baby, when a bodyguard talks, everyone listens. This isn't just crossover, it's full-on shared resources. Same guards, same staff, same secrets. And now, those whispers in the hallway, they're becoming confessions. Citizens, drivers, handlers, they're finally talking now that Diddy's not the only one under the microscope. There's even a claim that Harvey's whole media empire was used to lander narratives. Like what? Supposedly he paid off accusers, twisted stories on his radio show, even controlled journalists to drop soft coverage and silence scandals. And get this, 3 former employees from the mid-2000s say there were actual internal protocols for how to kill a scandal before it exploded. Like a secret playbook. They were prepared for anything. Lawsuits, they had a plan. Allegations, they had a strategy. It was like a full-blown crisis PR bunker, and now it makes perfect sense why.
They were referred to me as Wild King Nights. And what a Wild King Night was when him and a guest would go to a hotel room or be at his home, his bedroom, and they would have intimate gatherings. I would have to go and prep that hotel room, which consisted of baby oil Astroglide.
Then there's Marjorie. Oh yes, Mrs. Harvey. You might remember how she clapped back hard recently when the internet was buzzing about her alleged fling with the bodyguard and the chef. She said it was all lies, gossip, and she leaned heavily into scripture. Real, let he who is without sin vibes. But what if all that Bible verse posting was just smoke, a distraction, a way to draw fire away from something so much bigger, something that could make a cheating scandal look like a joke? Because what's coming? It's looking like full-blown empire collapse.
Man, Marjorie, the thing that Marjorie's not telling you all.
Telling everybody's
Yes.
business? Okay, now don't let me start telling Steve's business.
And just when you think it couldn't get any juicier, here comes the ghost of Steve's past. His ex-wife Mary, remember her? Well, baby, she didn't hold back. She once accused Steve of perjury, emotional abuse, and wait for it, spiritual annihilation. Spiritual. Annihilation. That's not your everyday divorce drama, honey. Sure, her lawsuit was eventually tossed out, but before that, she painted Steve as a puppet master, a smooth-talking, suit-wearing, backdoor-dealing puppet master. Now, with the feds supposedly closing in and Diddy spilling tea hotter than lava, we're staring down a battlefield of old friends turned enemies, Hollywood illusions collapsing, and decades of lies bubbling to the surface. And right at the center, Lori Harvey, the influencer, the model, the darling of the gram. But now, maybe the bait? Was she just collateral damage? Or worse, was she used? Did Diddy ever actually care about her? Or was she just the pawn in the ultimate revenge plot? Either way, Lori might have been the first move in a game we never even realized had started.
I thought he was this clean businessman who rise to the top because he was such a powerful and, smart, educated man. I had no idea that he had this other side to him. And when I started to get exposed to his lifestyle, I started to really realize, this guy has an addiction. It's not just, once every few weeks. It's every day, every hour.
And folks, it's not just Steve and Diddy anymore. Hollywood's elite are sweating, like serious panic mood lawyer on speed dial type of sweating. One insider spilled that big-time celebs are ducking out of scheduled appearances, vanishing into off-the-grid vacations. A certain late Sidemen host skipped 2 shows claiming exhaustion. How, please? Rumor is he was holed up with lawyers scrambling for damage control. Even a major streaming service hit pause on a docuseries tied to a very famous family. No explanation, just cold feet. That's not coincidence, it's fear. And then that cryptic IG post from a Grammy-winning singer sent fans into a spiral. When the masks come off, some faces won't survive the light. She even unfollowed artists connected to both Diddy and Steve. Coincidence? Doubt it. People are fleeing publicists, dumping teams, locking up NDAs. It's like the Titanic and everyone's scrambling for lifeboats. One former manager, they said it plain. The dominoes are already falling. Everybody's got dirt. Everybody's praying they're not next.
It was like, wow, for Diddy? What? That was a person that I looked up to. He was a mogul. And I listened to all the artists that he made superstars. And so to have a chance to be able to be signed to him, it was amazing. It was like, oh my God, I'm here. I finally did it.
And let's talk about that flash drive, the one Diddy allegedly handed over to prosecutors. Sources claim it holds everything: encrypted files, call logs, hotel bills, surveillance videos. It spans over a decade of celebrity chaos, and if even a fraction of it is true, oof, Steve Harvey is just the tip of the iceberg. We're talking about a constellation of celebrities all connected, from family-friendly icons to current controversy magnets. Your faves. People you grew up watching, people you trusted. An entertainment lawyer even said, "You'll never look at your favorite stars the same way again," and he meant it, because if the flash drive goes public, the whole celebrity ecosystem might crumble. Steve Harvey, the man who sold us advice books, motivational speeches, sermons of redemption, might have been standing on a mountain of lies this whole time.
Of coming forward. They've been afraid of what he could potentially do to them within the industry, what he could do to them professionally, maybe even personally. And so yes, it's been a dark secret they've held on to for a very, very long time.
His empire built on trust. Radio shows, TV, comedy tours, even fashion. And now, that trust is breaking down like a bad wig in the rain. Sponsors are watching. Syndication execs are whispering. One network insider said meetings have already happened about yanking Steve's content from international markets if criminal charges come through. Let that sink in, because fans aren't just shocked, they're heartbroken. Steve wasn't just a celeb, he was a symbol, a father figure for broken homes, a voice of reason for lost lovers, a man who told us he made mistakes and changed. But now, that might have been a well-rehearsed act, a mask, and behind that mask, something calculated, something cold. Celebrity peers, silent. No hashtags, no shout-outs, no support. Even Marjorie's Bible versathons now feel like coded messages from a crumbling castle, and every quiet denial just creates more questions. Did Steve know what Diddy was doing? Did he help? Were those private jets and tropical getaways just Hollywood vacations, or were they stages for something far, far darker? And now that image Steve clung to for decades, it's teetering. A former assistant from the early 2010s spilled that Steve's entire operation was about one thing: control. Nothing, and I mean nothing, happened without his say-so.
He cornered me. And then he asked me, with his arm up, he asked me, "How you doing?" I'm kind of like, wow, what the heck? Very uncomfortable. And then he rubbed his hand down my breast. He said, "If you need anything at all, you let me know."
Every press interview, every photo shoot, every quote filtered through the Steve Harvey machine. One ex-employee said it felt cult-like. Loyalty to the point of blindness. They were trained to deny, deflect, and discredit anyone who stepped out of line. But now that empire, it's leaking like a sinking ship. People are talking. Lawyers are circling. And if even a piece of Diddy's alleged evidence hits the light, this could be the biggest fall from grace we've seen in modern celebrity history. This isn't just a scandal. This is a full-blown psychological unraveling of power, of image, of trust. Hollywood insiders are paranoid. Talent agents are demanding legal reps sit in on meetings. Some stars are traveling with signal jammers just to stop potential surveillance. It's full-on spy movie madness, y'all.
Look at Diddy, for instance. Let's take a look at him. Let's take a look at, he has videos. He has videos of the parties. Now, what I've heard, which I don't know how much of it is in mainstream media, I don't really follow the story that much. But what I've heard from friends that are attorneys, friends of mine that have represented me before, agents and so on, is there's a bidding war going on right now.
Friends are becoming suspects. Allies are turning informants. Nobody knows who's flipped. Everyone's terrified they're already too late. Because in this game, it's not about guilt. It's about who gets caught first. Some stars are already lawyering up, shredding NDAs, even trying to cut immunity deals. And the snitching, it's coming from the inside. The celebrity code of silence has shattered. And now, it's every A-lister for themselves. And you know who kicked off this avalanche? Diddy. That's right, the mogul, the party king, the man who once said, "Can't stop, won't stop." Well, guess what? He might have just stopped the entire industry dead in its tracks.
So I'll tell you, I don't know how much, I don't like to say things that I know unless I see it. That there's a little difference, you know. But was it discussed? Was there descriptions from people I know that were at those? Yes, but here's another thing. So how many of these big entertainment parties and over the years and everything, with successful as you are, have you been around? Does anyone ever come up to you at a certain hour and say, okay, it's time to go? At those parties, they did.
Some say he's saving himself. Others think he's torching bridges just to spite the ones who crossed him. Either way, those files, if they land in the public or the courtroom, game over. We could see the collapse of names we never thought could fall. Grammy winners, Oscar darlings, daytime sweethearts. How many of them thought they were untouchable? And here's the raw truth. This scandal, it's not just about Diddy or Steve or Lori. It's about the system, the one that protects the powerful and buries the vulnerable.
I don't know this, but it just seems very suspicious when you go through and you look at in the history of different people that can make you go away if you know. Listen, I've worried about some of the things that I talk about on my show.
The one where image always came before integrity, where covering for each other meant more than protecting the innocent. So now we turn to you. If these files are real, if this whole web of celebrity secrecy is finally collapsing, who's next? Which name drops before the smoke clears? And more importantly, are you ready to face the truth about the stars you thought you knew? Let us know what you think in the comments, because this storm, oh honey, it's just beginning. Until next time, stay nosy, stay bold, and stay watching.